Say you have a flute, and the flute's lowest note is middle C. Now switch this flute out for the slightly larger alto flute, which can go down to the G below middle C. If you as the composer want to hear that G below middle C, you write a middle C. I'm the classical nerd, and today we're talking about transposing instruments. In each family of instruments, there's generally considered a kind of default instrument. We'll stick with the flute as an example. While there are dozens of different kinds of flutes, and I mean dozens of kinds of flutes, when we say flute, we mean only one kind of flute. This is the concert flute. It's referred to as being pitched in C, meaning that whatever note you write for the instrument is going to come out sounding like that note. Again, for all intents and purposes, this can be imagined as the default flute. The modern alto flute was perfected by an instrument maker named Theobald Boehm, who also revolutionized the key system for the entire flute family. For his alto flute, Boehm kept the key system as it was and simply made the instrument larger, lowering the pitch. This meant that flutists didn't have to learn an entirely new system of fingering when they went to a larger instrument. Because the C comes out sounding as a G, the alto flute is referred to as being in G. But since it sounds a fourth below, you have to write it a fourth above. For music in C major, the alto flute in G must be written as if it's in the key of F. For larger families of instruments, the problem gets even bigger. For example, the clarinet and saxophone families are always notated in the treble clef. For the regular B-flat clarinet, this isn't much of an issue. The C comes out sounding like a B-flat, so you have to notate it in D. But the clarinet family extends really low. For example, the contrabass clarinet is written exactly like a regular B-flat clarinet, but it sounds 2 octaves below. If you're writing out the pitches that actually sound, you would have to use the bass clef instead of the treble clef. There are also things called octave transpositions, and these are a little bit easier to understand. The piccolo, for instance, sounds an octave higher than is notated, even though its lowest note is a D. On the other end of the orchestra, the double bass is so big that you have to notate it an octave above how it sounds, otherwise it's just going to be a mess. The contrabassoon is like the double bass in this aspect. This octave transposition is sometimes able to be seen in scores, because if you look at the clefs for the piccolo or the double bass, sometimes you'll see a little 8 above or below their particular clef.